Toasties from the Margaret Island. My name is Agnes Tarnai. Next to me, you see Peter Hajdu.
Hi.
And you don't see Denisa Harova. She is behind the camera. The timing of this conversation is just perfect, as the Toastmasters International Convention and the World Championship of Public Speaking is taking place in Denver, practically as we speak. Writing a speech is difficult. Writing a contest-winning speech is even more difficult. But how about writing a district contest-winning speech? Peter has done it more than once, has been through this process. How many times exactly, Peter?
Yeah, I've calculated it before we started this interview, but I think I competed 14 times.
In how many years?
Oh, we didn't agree on that question.
No, we didn't.
I think I started 2016 spring or 2015 fall. One of the two. I'm not quite sure.
He is the reigning District 110 champion for evaluations and international speech. Are you addicted to competing?
Yeah, I have been addicted, definitely, for the past few years. I might be going off of it a little bit, but we'll see. But it really has an addictive feeling to it.
Mm-hmm. For me, speech writing is like a seed that gets planted in your head, the idea. It stays there, it doesn't leave you, and then at a certain moment it starts growing. And if all goes well, it will also bring fruits. How is that process for you? How do you start? Where does the idea come from? And what is the process that follows?
Specifically for competition speeches, because different speeches, I have different methods. For a professional speech, I would be much more methodological. But for the last speech that I gave, the one that I won the district with, I had the idea around a year ago, and it just came into my mind. And this time, I didn't start writing it for a very, very long time. It stayed there. I got more and more new ideas, and I put them together. And a few months before the competition started, that's when I would start really thinking about what my purpose is, my specific purpose, my general purpose, my main message. And after that, I would start constructing my speech based around that initial idea.
So once you have the idea and when you really get into the process of writing the speech, you start with the purpose. That's the first.
Yes, once I have the idea
define.
and the topic, yes, generally speaking, that's how I think it should be. First you think about your general purpose, whether you want to convince people or be persuasive, motivating, inspirational. Mostly it's inspirational with these types of speeches. And once you have that, after that you come up with a specific purpose, what you want to achieve. Because when we are there as speakers, we want to achieve something, right? And it's good to know that from the beginning, because that way it's easier to build up the speech and also to have a main idea.
Can you remind us of the title and of that goal you wanted to achieve?
Yes. The title of my speech was Imperfection, and basically my purpose was to achieve that people accept themselves and are okay with themselves the way they are.
That's not so easy to do.
Oh no, it's not. And normally, I think a lot of times when people come up with topics, it has to do with what they go through or what is important for them. And this has been important for me, and I've been working on it quite a lot. And probably that's why the topic came to me, actually. And I built the speech on it.
Yes, probably it's right, or at least that's my experience, that sometimes we find the topic or we find a job, but sometimes it's the other way around.
Yeah,
the topic
definitely.
finds us, or a job finds us, or an opportunity just comes our way.
This topic definitely found me. It was one of those cases.
And how do you feel? Did you achieve your goal? Winning the district competition is obviously a good answer to that question, but what is your feeling about it?
I'm very happy about it. Obviously, I wanted to go forward to Denver. I would be in Denver if Plan A worked out, but it didn't. But that's fine because this speech, I managed to combine what Toastmaster competitions require, sort of, but still stay true to myself. Because sometimes it's very hard to be yourself on stage, but then again, you're judged according to certain criteria. And with this, I managed to merge the two together, and I really liked my message, and I was genuinely happy to give this message to the people. And from the feedback I got, it gave value to a lot of people, and this is a great experience for me. So I am very happy about it, yes.
That's absolutely
Plus,
fantastic.
if plan A worked out, we wouldn't be talking right here, right now, and this is better than anything. Just saying. Who needs Denver, right?
When you can sit here on the bench with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't disagree at all. Not at all. How do you adapt to the different stages? Does the speech evolve from the club contest all the way? Because club contest, 20 people, 25 people, small stage, district, hundreds of people in the audience, a big stage. What's your process?
It definitely evolves. When I did the humorous speech in 2016, I think, it was a huge evolution. Actually, after every round, I wrote a brand new speech. Normally people don't do that, but...
That's addiction.
Yes. I won at club, but I thought, okay, but this wasn't good enough. I need another one for area. So I wrote another one for area. I won, but oh no, I need a new one. And I wrote a brand new one for division. That I kept for district later on.
Okay.
But it definitely evolves, and even if I don't write a new speech, I would get feedback from people. I would build some of it in, then I would record it, I would watch it. And a lot of times, I always thought that maybe writing a speech would become shorter, and maybe it becomes a little bit shorter, but not too much. And I feel like I need that time for the ideas and the thoughts and the structures to like work inside of me. And after every round, maybe I would just change a few sentences, or I would just have an idea, oh, it's more logical if I swap these two. So it's a constant evolution.
And how do you filter the feedback? Because you must have given this speech, I don't know how many times, throughout the process.
Yeah.
And everybody is willing to help, has a good idea, gives a piece of advice. You cannot take everything on board. How do you filter?
Yeah. At the beginning, it was very hard, but there was one particular instance when it just helped me to approach it in a different way. When I read the different feedback papers, and one said, you didn't move enough on stage. Okay, next one. You move too much on stage. So you can't build in everything that you get. I evaluate it myself and see whether I find it a good idea or not. And this is why it's good to have your general and specific purpose, to see whether it would serve the purpose of your speech or not, to build it in. And after some time, I would also evaluate who says it, right? Because it could be different if someone who's fairly new to Toastmasters, it could still be a good idea, but who has been there for years, or who is a professional public speaking trainer or something, maybe I would weigh it differently. Not too much though. I still evaluate it according to my own ideas, but I take that into consideration as well.
That's excellent. Do you have a role model in or outside Toastmasters?
I would say John Zimmer. Hi, John. I don't think
Hi,
you're watching
John.
this, but maybe I'll send you the link.
Yes,
Definitely.
That's
Definitely.
a good idea. He is also, maybe he was not addicted to competition, but he participated in many. He won on several occasions on the district level. He made it to the semifinals, on the international level. So a lot of experience and a terrific speaker and a great person, which is
most
also
important.
Also very, very, very important. What is the added value of this adrenaline rush and all the stressful moments of competing?
It's assuming that there's such thing as an added value to it.
I'm asking.
Of course, there is. There's lots, actually. It has been said many times before, so I'll be someone who says it again, that if you compete in Toastmasters, it's one of the best ways to improve, because you have a lot more pressure on, and you put more energy into a competition speech than just an everyday speech. You get more feedback and whatnot. And also to just get used to being on stage, you get more bigger audience, right? The higher you get, the audience gets bigger and bigger. And that's a very good experience to have later on. If you give a speech at a company for like 100, 200 people, that's not going to be the first time you're in such a situation, and it's extremely helpful. I train people as well to public speaking for such occasions, and those people who haven't experienced this before, the first couple of times could be very stressful just to stand there and talk to people. And if you've been in a competition, the number of the audience, also the adrenaline that it is actually a competition, that really helps you. After that, standing out, it's a lot easier, even in professional settings.
You mentioned the difference between small stage, big stage, competition, company presentations, or any training sessions. There are lots of differences between these situations, but I think one common denominator is the high level of energy that you need. How do you prepare for a speech, be it a contest speech, be it a professional occasion? How do you keep your energy high? How do you get it high and keep it high? How are you fit for stage?
Okay, only through legal means. I have to stress that. Let's talk about the competitions first. It's almost like a sports event for me. The higher the level, the more serious I am about it. For example, for district, I would pay attention to what I eat, even like a week before, but definitely 3 days before. And then the night before, I would just have a very light dinner very early, go to sleep on time, different relaxation techniques for like the days following up. And then during the day, depending on when it is, I would have a meal plan, when I would eat and what. And sometimes I would even use like these sports energy gels, or just have a banana, but like carefully calculated when I would eat them, so that when I am on stage, I am not hungry, but I'm also not overburdened through digesting food. So that's one thing. A lot of times I used to listen to music, and for every competition I would make my own mix according to what I listened at that time. But most recently, I still did listen to music. So I would have a playlist and different relaxation techniques and breathing techniques that would get me on stage. Sometimes I would do visualization, but different kinds. There's positive visualization, but there's also negative, meaning what's the worst that can happen. And there's a bunch of things that I put together, and I have a system for myself based on it, and that's how I would do it. It's very similar for training. For example, like what I eat and how I have my energy bars when I would eat them and things like that. And this kind of helps me to have that energy level, because for a full day training, you need a different type of energy level. It has to be high, but of course it can be as high as for a 7-minute speech. But through all these put together, that's what I do.
Wow, I heard from some competitors that they would drink a lot of water, or they would not eat too much, or they would go to bed early the day before. But having such a detailed plan, it's really like...
It's very important.
Like top competition in any sport.
Definitely, because you have to be in top form for that 7 minutes, and there's different dimensions to it, and you don't want any of them to interfere.
So guys out there who are thinking about competition, don't just think about having a good idea and writing a top speech. Also think about your body and your mind, and how you stay fit for stage, and how you keep your energy high. Brilliant piece of advice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Next year, history will be written, because the convention, Toastmasters International Convention, comes to Europe for the very first time.
Oh, I didn't even know that it would be the first time.
August 2020, Paris. Surprise, surprise, Paris will host this event, and in it the World Championship of Public Speaking. Does that inspire you in any way?
In some way, yes.
Would you like to share it?
But in what way, I'm not quite sure. I could see myself help someone prepare for that. Whether I would go for it, I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Now I'm more focused on helping others improve their skills. So maybe that's what I would do. But it's so far away, maybe I will be in competition mode again. I don't know. It's like one of my favorite TV series. I stopped watching it around 10 times, right? Then I always kind of got back. So we'll see. Now I'm saying I might not go for it next year, but you know, we'll see.
You never know when
Yeah,
an
because
idea walks your way
Yes.
and just grabs your attention
And
or
also,
nests it into your head. And
also, if I say I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm gonna do it, and then you have this video, I'm gonna be
and
totally
I will
discredited.
hold you accountable.
Yes,
Hey,
definitely. So,
Peter, you want to compete? You said you won't.
so the future is clouded.
That's it.
That's all
The
I
future
can
is
say.
clouded.
Yes.
That's beautiful. The sky is a little bit
A
clouded.
little bit. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to
Thank
chat
you for
with
having
you.
me.
Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
You.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Toasties. Have
Bye,
fun.
Toasties.